Welcome to this episode of Money Matters TV. My name is Kelly Stewart of The Positive Business, and I'm so glad you've joined us for what promises to be a super informative and fun conversation today. And to start the show, I'd like to bring on Paul Mitchell, our co-host for today. Paul is with Upland Business Capital. It's good to see you again, Paul. How are you?
Good, Kelly. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're talking a little bit about the show, about how much business has changed this year. Most noticeably, our backgrounds, right?
Yep.
We're working from home. And, it's been an incredible year, I have to say. Never in my professional career did I ever think that I would be inviting so many people into my home, which is wonderful and different all at the same time. How are you experiencing things?
Well, pretty interesting. Right now, I happen to be at my partner's home. It's more lovely than my home. So that's tip number one. But social distancing or whatever, that's number one. So you just wander in somebody else's house or nice background and that type of thing, unless you really know what's going on. But it's very difficult. I'm in the finance business, and sort of the banking business. I deal with bankers and that type of thing. I was a full-time banker for many years and all. And I asked them, so what are you doing?
Right.
You can't visit customers. You can't visit prospects in person, which was a good part of the business historically. And as far as I can tell, they're all still employed.
Right. Finding new ways, right, to do things online. I know early on we've heard that this type of setting where we're online and we're seeing one another and we're seeing each other's homes and backgrounds and children and dogs and all of those things that are happening is actually deepening relationships in some ways where you didn't necessarily get to know the whole person. Are you hearing some of those things from your banker friends?
A little bit. I recently talked with one, and I said, so how do you spend your time? He said, well, when we had the PPP, remember that? The big loan program and all, everybody, that he works for Bank of America, which is one of the largest banks in the country, if not the world. And everybody was recruited hands-on to handle PPP, which to him was like drudgery for two reasons. One, he doesn't handle smaller loans typically. And number two, there's just all this paperwork, volume, as opposed to developing relationships, which you just referred to. Now, hopefully, a lot of what the banks were doing during that time is taking on new customers. Frequently, the bank, if you approached a bank and said, I'd like to get a PPP loan, the bank said, well, you're a customer? And said, no. Well, if you become a customer, maybe we'll talk to you. Yes or no? Goodbye.
Right.
So you might develop new relationships that way, or
might
not.
Yeah, it's all very interesting, and to see where this is going to lead. I was looking at some statistics recently, and I do understand and recognize if you torture statistics long enough, they will confess to anything. So just as a guideline, there was a study that I was looking at of knowledge workers. I think they surveyed about 4,700 people, and I think it was 12% of them wanted to stay at home permanently, work from home permanently, even after the pandemic is past us and it's safe to go back to work. But then there was a larger portion that wanted to do a hybrid model. So I think we might see more of that. And even separately, I saw an article yesterday that was referring to the 3-3-2 policy, where some companies are considering, or 3-2-2, 3 days in the office, 2 days at home, or vice versa. And then your Saturday, Sunday, your weekend, which oddly enough did not need to be the weekend, because they're trying to work with employees who may be having to have children at home and doing their schoolwork, online, who have other spouses who are working or partners. So they're trying to be more flexible with that, which I think is like incredibly innovative. And again, for the people who can do this, recognizing there are many people who can't.
But still not good for the dry cleaners.
True.
Because people don't have to dress up the way they historically have, and the dry cleaner that much. Well, some of the different things that happen, you learn a little bit the hard way. For example, I mentioned to you that I had a Zoom thing, And we happened to be actually in Rhode Island for a week, very social distancing, the whole bit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I said, well, here I am in this gorgeous harbor of Newport, Rhode Island, these tall sailing ships and all. Here's a little park. Nobody's around here. I can sit on a park bench and do my Zoom thing. Well, within 10 minutes, I got the hook because I didn't think there was any wind. It was just a tiny bit of a breeze. Came through kind of bad. The lighting wasn't very good. And the Wi-Fi was so weak. It didn't work well. It didn't work like this.
Sure.
So there was something I thought it'd be fun to adapt to.
Yeah.
Got to have the discipline of the staid, whatever you want to call it, environment, professional environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, we'll see the technology improve even more to accommodate what we're all doing. You know, I have a couple of things on my wish list that I'm going to send out to some hardware companies that would make my life easier. Things I didn't know I needed before, right? And one of those would be a clicker to advance my slides that's actually tied to the video platform that I'm using as opposed to the PowerPoint that I'm using.
Yeah,
so, you know, just things like that. I do think we'll see things to make those things easier. I think the technology is the bandwidth. You know, there's even now more reason to focus on those.
Sure. One of the things I've seen, people have used virtual backgrounds.
Yes.
Seen that? Sitting in front of a wine grapeyard in Napa.
Right.
Beautiful background.
Yes.
You know, better than you know, somebody's house or kitchen or bedroom.
Super nice.
Something like that. You know.
Absolutely. And I can't believe it. So we're catching up on that. And it is already time for us to ask the question that we had from one of our viewers, Dale Zim, who's in Philadelphia. And Dale asks, what's the difference between a credit report and a credit score?
Okay. Well, the two basic things. Well, the credit report is more of a wordy thing of showing your relationships with an XYZ bank. You had a loan for 5 years. You had 3 delinquencies. Other than that, you were on time. Or your credit card had a balance had been up to $3,000. Now it's $1,000, et cetera, and you pay on time. Or more of a recitation of the experience. Okay. Credit score itself is taken from the credit experience and just is boiled down to a number, typically a 3-digit number. For example, 350 is horrendous. 800 is perfect. And it combines things, as I mentioned, not only how you pay, that is, you pay on time all the time, that's terrific, but are you maxed out on your credit cards? Credit line is $5,000, you have $4,500, outstanding. How many times have you made a recent increase for additional credit from other creditors? That type of thing. That's bad. These things are weighted. Some are 35%. Obviously, the biggest one, pay on time. Your balances. That's maybe number 2. And number 3, gets down to how many inquiries have been made. You shopped around for a car loan. You may run into it. The creditor says we'll do a soft credit check. So soft means it's not recorded on your system.
Right.
History.
Okay.
Just one last thing. There's another thing that people run into, and that's called a background check, which will involve things like, did you have, bankruptcy, you have sued by people, you have judgments against you, things like that.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for that, Paul. I appreciate it. Dale, I hope that answered your question. And if you'd like to send in a question to Money Matters TV, here's how you can do it.
You can have your questions answered on Money Matters. Please go to our website, money-matterstv.com. On our homepage, click on the banner on the right that says, Send us your questions. While you're on our website, you can find information about our host and guests, as well as show notes and links about this show and past shows. Money Matters is also available as a podcast on iTunes and Stitcher, so you can listen to Money Matters while you're on the go. That website address, again, is money, MONEY, -matters, MATTERS, TV.com.
Welcome back, and it's time to bring out our guest, who is Bill Haley of Allied Pixel. Welcome to the show, Bill. How are you?
Good, Kelly. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Happy to have you here. So Allied Pixel, as I've heard, has been around for about 27 years. And we are curious. Tell us your story. How did that get started?
Well, we are in the business of combining filmmaking with technology to help our clients tell their stories more effectively. And going way back into the early 90s when we started, that was using multimedia. If you remember interactive CD-ROMs, we were
Sure
one of the
do.
first companies, that they played back on that first generation of laptop computers. So that's where we started. And as the technology progressed, we got into Macromedia Director to create interactive exhibits, and then Flash for online experiences. And the technology just continues to progress, and we're always looking for new ways to make video more powerful to help our clients tell their stories.
That's awesome.
Let's fast forward to today. Allied Pixel is recognized as a leader in personalized video. What exactly is that?
Personalized video is data-driven videos that are unique to each viewer. So instead of a company sending this exact same video out to everybody in their database, it's a way to actually generate a unique video for each person in the database that speaks to their particular experiences and interests. We take data that the client already has, and we use that to craft individualized videos at scale, and it can be anywhere from a couple hundred videos to hundreds of thousands of videos at a time. So we've got a team of film production professionals and a team of technology people who handle the data and the generation and the deployment. We've got a data center in Valley Forge that can currently generate 20,000 videos a day, and we're actually increasing the capacity of that as we speak.
It's amazing.
How long are these videos? I mean, 30 seconds, 3 minutes?
They can be as long as you want them to be. Typically, they're around 60 seconds to 2 minutes. If you'd like, I can show you an example. It runs about 90 seconds. It was done for a local college.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hey, congratulations on being accepted at Cabrini. We put together some highlights just for you. I hear you're going to be a digital communications major. Awesome.
Hi, I'm Mary Van Brunt, Dean for the School of Business Arts and Media, and I'm so excited to have you join us at Cabrini University. Here in the School of Business Arts and Media, we're going to provide you with opportunities for hands-on learning, for internships and study abroad experiences that will really help you be successful in your chosen profession. So welcome to Cabrini, and we can't wait to have you join our team.
So you're interested in activities. Did you know Cabrini has more than 40 clubs on campus? It's a great way to meet new people. You can even start your own club. There's always something fun going on. And since you're planning to live on campus, there are 12 residence halls. You can choose from a single room, double, a suite, or apartment style living. You'll make friends and get to experience everything the campus has to offer.
Hi, I'd like to congratulate you on being accepted to Cabrini University, and I so look forward to seeing you on our campus soon.
Congrats! See you at Cabrini.
That is really cool, Bill.
Can I go to Cabrini?
They would love you.
I like the personalization of that. So is that what makes it different then from the traditional kind of commercial video that we think of? It's kind of like a one size fits all, but this seems like the reverse of that.
It sure is. In the case of the video that we just saw, that was one of 2,500 individual videos that were sent out to students who had been accepted at the school. And each of those students saw a very different video depending upon what major they were interested in, whether they want to live on campus or not, whether they want to play sports and so forth. So it's a very sort of tailored message to their interests.
Right. That's
What are some of the other
fascinating.
universities you work with?
I'm sorry?
What are some of the other universities you work with?
We work with colleges all around the country, actually. We're currently working with Johns Hopkins, creating an on-demand personalized video for students who are interested in their engineering program. We're working with Rutgers University, creating personalized fundraising videos for their donors. We are working with Oral Roberts University, creating personalized financial aid videos that explain a student's financial aid package. And here in Philly, we're working with Villanova University, creating a personalized enrollment video for students who have been accepted into the business school.
Wow.
It seems so timely, especially as people use their phones so much now too, and for scrolling, and you could be walking and getting all of that information, some of which may have come through an email that I think you have to kind of really stop and focus on a little bit more to read the words, right? Is that something that this addresses, that kind of, you know, ever scrolling world that we're in?
Well, I think that, you know, people have an expectation of personalization now, and you can see that from Google to Amazon. The world is just becoming more personalized, and as content is being pushed to us based on our likes and our views, even Peloton has gotten into the act with personalized workouts. So this is a way to bring that personalization into the world of video, where technically it's been quite difficult to do that up until now.
Right.
What results have you seen from this personalized video?
One school that we work with found that students who had watched their personalized video were 12 times more likely to enroll in the school than students who hadn't. And the schools that we work with really see increased engagement across the board, from open rates to click-through rates to conversion rates. One school that we work with reported an 84% open rate to their emails, which they said was the highest open rate that they'd ever seen.
Almost unheard of. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Do you work with other verticals?
We do. We're beginning to work with a number of different verticals. We are working in financial services, creating personalized updates for client accounts. We're working in automotive, creating personalized car demos. We're working in real estate, creating personalized home tours, and also with nonprofits, creating personalized fundraising videos.
Right.
Have you seen a spike in your business in the past 9 months because people are really less likely to do person-to-person, you know?
We have. I think we're one of the few companies that's actually benefited from COVID, and you know, for obvious reasons. That face-to-face engagement is being replaced by the kind of things that we're doing right now, you know, online experiences. And this is a way to make it a more personalized, more direct experience.
Very good. Congratulations, my hats off to you.
Right.
Thank you.
The visual aspect of it is so important also, right? Because we know that an image can represent 1,000 words. I'm sure there's a better way to say that, but you know where I'm going with it.
Well, you know, it's taking the power of video, and I think we all know that it's the most consumed content type on the internet, and taking it a step further by making it more relevant to the person who's watching it. So, you know, rather than sort of a one-size-fits-all where everyone sees the same video that may or may not really be very relevant to them, they're seeing something that really speaks to their interests.
Right.
What kind of competition do you have, and how do you set yourself apart?
You know, we're a little bit different in that we are a film production company that has the capability to do personalized video. The competition that we have tend to be more technology platforms where you create your own video content and then you use that platform to segment it and to serve it up. But we're more of a one-stop shop where we can actually produce the video for you, do the editing, do all the post-production work, and then create the interactive element for it too. So I would say that we're pretty unique in what we do.
Do you actually go on site, say to John Hopkins or Oral Roberts College, or do you clip from their video submissions?
Usually a combination of both of those things. So most schools that we work with have got a certain amount of existing video content. They've got a library of footage that we can pull from, but there are usually some gaps in that that we need to go out and film. So we've got a crew that travels all over the country doing the filming. They bring the footage back and we edit that together.
So I'm curious about the personalized auto videos too. What's the context for that? What are you What are you showing through that?
Well, a person will go on a car dealer's website and they may be interested in a particular make and model with certain features. Maybe it's got the upgraded sound system and the sport package and so forth. So when they sort of enter that information on the website and then they enter their email address, within minutes we generate that personalized video on the fly, and they get that in their inbox. And it's actually a walk around of the exact car that they're interested in, showing the exact features that they're asking for.
Right. Understand. Very cool, Bill.
Thank you.
Cool.
So it's not a hard sell. It's a demonstration.
It's show and tell for sure. Usually when someone sees one of these videos, they very quickly get it, and if it makes sense for their organization or their school or their business, they want one.
Very cool. So what does the future then look like? This already kind of feels like we're talking about the future, but what does the future look like for Allied Pixel and personalized video? And I hope you're going to be using the word hologram. I'll explain why later, but go ahead.
Well, I'll try to work it in. So the future looks really good. We're growing fast. In 2020, we doubled our business volume. We expect to double it again in 2021. We've got a staff of 26 people, and we are actively hiring more producers, editors, and data specialists. So, I'm super excited about the possibilities for personalized video and holograms in the new year. And Allied Pixel is committed to leading the way.
That's awesome. About 5 years ago, I started saying to people I wanted to develop a hologram. I just thought that would be a very cool thing. Someone would boot up their computer and I would be able, if they had a question, I would just be able to appear in front of them. And, everyone just kind of laughed at me. And in the last 5 years, I've kind of just parenthetically been watching some of the advances that are being made. And I think it's an example of the expression, speak it into truth. I just kept talking about it, and I think it is coming along that way.
Kelly, you were just ahead of your time.
I think so. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for noting that.
Bill, I don't mean to put you on the spot. You don't have to give us a very specific answer, but since I did mention the PPP program, you are a small business.
Yes.
Did you consider that program? And if so, or if not, why?
We did, and we actually benefited from the PPP program. I'm happy to say, the months of March, April, May were difficult for every business out there. We're a small business. We've got fixed expenses. I did not want to lay anybody off. We've got a team that's really very special, and they'd be hard to replace. So that money was vital to keep us going during those months when budgets had been cut back. So I'm happy to say that was a huge benefit for us.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what's the most unusual setting that you filmed in? Thinking back over these 27 years, is there a story that stands out either for its comedic value or how it might have raised your skill level as a result?
Well, we've filmed all over the world over those times, and I think some of the more interesting places were in China. We've been to Africa. And the reason why they're interesting is because the cultures are so different, and the response to having a film crew there is always something different. So, I think that the remote shooting is always kind of cool, and we've just had some nice experiences over the years working with people around the world.
That's good. Good to hear.
Are they going to develop a new Emmy for your category?
Possibly. I don't know, but we'll have to see. It is truly a whole new category.
Perfect.
I love that. And so then if I was considering personalized video for an organization, what are some of the factors where you feel like these things are in place, you really do need to be considering personalized video?
Well, we look at two things. One is, what is the message? What are you trying to achieve with the video? And then we take a look at the data that's available. So every organization has a certain amount of information on their constituents, whether it's their customers, their students, et cetera. And we try to piece those two things together. So we'll take a look at, okay, how can that data link up with the message that we want to send. And then that's really sort of where we start with this. And then if there's a compelling combination, then it would make sense as a personalized video.
And I guess
If a young person are interested in this field, what would your advice be?
There are some specialties in this business that are very, very important. One, producers, video producers are a key skill set. Editors, there's a sort of a very interesting technology layer that we bring in for editors to make this whole technical piece of it work. And then data specialists, I mean, people who are comfortable working with large data sets. Those are the three areas that are most critical for us. And, anyone who's, looking to get into the field, I think those are the places to do it.
What brought you into the field?
Even as a kid, I would take my dad's 8mm movie camera and make my poor brother, do silly things and film it and then edit it. And it's always been an interest to me. I just love telling visual stories that way. And I've always been personally intrigued with technology. So I've looked for interesting ways to combine that filmmaking skill set with technology. And personalized video is really sort of the ultimate manifestation of that.
Right.
Is there any relationship of your business to TikToks of the world?
No. No. We're
Amen.
we are, we're a Philly-based company. We've been here from day one since 1993. We started working out of the living room in my house in media, and we've moved and grown since then. But no, we're a local company, and we plan to stay that way.
The company is still in media, yes?
We are, yeah.
And isn't that lovely when it works out like that? A media company in media. It's just
Funny,
so very
isn't it?
easy
Yeah.
to remember.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, media is a great town to work in.
That's awesome. Any advice for anyone who is considering this, other than the criteria that they like? What are the first steps to thinking about it?
Get a low-level job with Allied Pixel.
Well, someone who's interested in personalized video for their organization, whether it's a company or a nonprofit or a school, would do well to actually go on our website. It's alliedpixel.com and take a look at some of the samples of personalized video, and we have dozens of them there.
Great idea.
And it talks a little bit more about what kind of an organization is a good candidate for this, and what are sort of the most beneficial use cases that we've seen. So that's a good place to start. And then if you are interested, certainly we have some folks on staff that you can reach out to, and they'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you and really talk about the possibilities.
And in terms of the budget, is this something is it budget friendly? Are there a range of options across a range of budgets?
Well, I would say it's more budget friendly than a hologram. It's a pretty wide range, and it comes really based on the work that goes into the video. So it can be on the low end, probably around $15,000. On the high end, 6 figures and above. So it really comes down to time and materials. I guess is how I would say it. And a lot of times we'll work backwards with a client, and they may say, listen, we have a budget that cannot exceed this amount. What can you do for that? And then we look for creative solutions. And I think we've always been pretty successful at finding ways to get that done.
Want to thank you so much for being on our show today, Bill Haley of Allied Pixel, Paul Mitchell, my dear friend. And please join us next week when our guest will be Kevin Brown, and he's the CEO of Ascensio. Thanks, everyone. Remember, expect great things from everything that you do.